guys, we have a big training teed up for you guys today. We got a big training teed up for you guys today. And this training is coming out of conversations that I've had with several of our diamonds about what it takes to really win and to be successful in this business, right? And let me ask you guys a question. How many of you have noticed that very intentionally over the last 6 months or so, Mark and I have been teaching you guys the fundamentals of the Holton bug system? How many of you guys have noticed? How many have noticed? How many of you guys have been taking really good notes? How many of you guys have been taking this opportunity to learn this system and start applying it in your business? Okay. Here's one of the things. I think we have kind of two types of people that have kind of emerged in our business, and I want to really talk to those people today. We have ambassadors, business builders who have become trading junkies, right? Trading junkies, trading degenerates. It's okay. We resemble those statements. I know I do. I know Mark does, right? Come in our office, there's at least one monitor with charts up all day, right? And these are people who are supposed to stop at a certain point in time, but at least one monitor all day. I'm in it. I'm in a trade right now. I literally entered a trade during the video. During the video, right? During the announcements video. So we have trading junkies, and the other ones we have are training junkies. Training junkies, people who are hooked on training and whose currency has become what did I learn versus what did I do. Okay. And one of the things, if you guys know anything about me, I am about success. I'm about helping people become successful, right? If you know anything about Mark, he is about success. He is about results. He's about helping people become successful. If you know anything about our fearless leader, Mr. Bugs, he is about results. He is about success. And when I look back at our history, I feel like the culture of the organizations that we have built and coached in the past to big success and big numbers has been a little bit different than the culture that we have here right now in most folks at Ibüümerang, right? I feel like we have some of the best people that we could possibly have in a network marketing company. When I look at some of you guys, I'm just like, I'm amazed that you are here with us. And if I were building, I would wish you were on my team because you're so sharp, you're so professional, you're so magnetic in your personalities. And some of you are so accomplished and well-liked and respected in your communities. Those are the best people to build a team with, right? However, one of the things that I noticed in my previous businesses is that even though I had those type of people, they really worked hard. They took this business as seriously as they took their jobs and their other businesses. And I was surrounded by people who would go to their job 9 to 5 or go to their company, their business 9 to 5 or whatever. And when they got off, they would work their business there as hard as that. And so the results that we would get would be faster. The results that we would get would be bigger. And I guess what I'm trying to tell you is that there's no substitute for doing the work. So what I did is I took a step back and I said, what are some of the reasons that really sharp and amazing people who now know what to do and who now know how to do it aren't being successful, right? And typically there's a third reason, and the third reason is that they don't want to do it, But I know that if you're here with us on a Saturday morning, afternoon, or evening, based on where you are, you want to do it. Let me see it in the chat. If you want to be successful in your Iboomerang business, if you want to make money in your Iboomerang business, put I want to in the chat.
Bro, I had a full-time job and I would go home at night and work my business and work it on the weekends.
Mm-hmm. And you were an executive at that full-time job. You weren't a line worker, right? Not putting line workers down, but I just want to say that you were a successful executive. You were making great money, right? You could have opted out and said, I don't need to do this. I have a good life, but you didn't. And so not only were you successful in your corporate, you were successful in your network marketing, right? And so I'm seeing lots of I want to's in the chat, right? I see Umaima, you want to. Very good. Ibanez, Irma, you want to. Diva, you want to. Vilma, you want to. Nadia, you want to. Michelle, you want to. Marilyn, you want to. Diana, you want to. All right, so you guys want to. Reggie, you want to. Okay, so today I want you to really feel me. This training might hurt a little bit. Did y'all hear me? This training might hurt a little bit because I'm trying to reach you today. My goal today is to flip your switch. Okay? My goal is not to hurt your feelings. My goal is not to put you down. My goal is not to diminish you, but my goal is to flip your switch. My goal is to wake you up. There is too much money here. Mr. Bugs, you guys know that, disclaimer alert, in his previous company, he got up to over $1 million a month. I think it was like 1.2 or 1.4 a month. A month. A month. Over 12 to 13 plus $1 million a year. That is incredible success. And he did that by helping so many people, I can't quantify them, make over $100,000 a month. I do know this, that when it came time for the group picture at their event and they had a big stage, they couldn't fit them all on the stage. Could you imagine that many people making that kind of money? Right? And when I asked him why he didn't make more, he said the comp plan wouldn't let him. He literally maxed out that plan. So when Mr. Bugs was designing the compensation plan for Iboomerang, he designed out those limitations so that if he could have taken this plan and put it in that company, he might have been making $1 million a week. Yvette Turner was there. She said she remembers it. They 2 pictures at the event she was at. It took 2 pictures, 2 group pictures of $100,000 a month plus earners. So he designed those limitations out of this plan. Someone actually came to me this week and said, hey, what if we put more money in the plan? I'm here to tell you that is not the issue. There's so much money in this plan, right? It's kind of like when some of you moms, your kids say, hey, man, there's nothing to eat here. And then you open the fridge and it's overflowing, right? It's like some of you ladies say, I don't have anything to wear. But then we go in your closet and there's not even space to put another thing, right?
My wife.
So when some folks say there's not enough money in the plan, I'm tripping because I already know this plan will pay you out the wazoo if you finish the sentence for me. Who can finish it for me? If you, I give you a clue. There you go. You don't need the clue. Mario said it all the way from Italy. Do the work. Okay. So let's take a look at your business. Let's take a look at your business today and let's see if we can identify the places where you can change your results. Okay. So today's training is called The Cure. 15 fixes to put your business on the fast track. Okay. I really wanted to name it 15 reasons you might be failing and what you can do about it right now. But I said, let me be a little bit nicer. We're going to call it the cure. Okay. Now, what we're going to talk about today are the symptoms of a struggling business. And some of you might recognize your business in various things that we talk about today. Okay. Because some of you might have a sick business. Now, let me talk to my new people. You don't even have a business yet. You just joined. You're like, oh my God, what's this all about? Here's the upside for the brand new people. If you're brand new, you are in the best position you could possibly be in. Because everybody wants to know what to do. But very few people will tell you what not to do. And what I want you to do, especially if you're new, I want you to write this question down in your notes. What is the best way to get through a minefield? A minefield, a field that's been where mines have been buried, and if you step on them, they will blow you up. What is the best way to get through a minefield? And the best way to get through a minefield is, as FX Rich just put in the chat, follow someone. They will show you where not to step, right? So what you can do here with this information is you can prevent some of the pain that others might experience by saying, you know what? I see the things that I need to avoid. I see the things that I need to implement from the beginning, and you can fast track your success, and you don't have to take the same journey as some others, right? Where are my parents at? Isn't that what we try to do with our children? We look back at our lives, we look back at our 30, 40, 50, 60 years on this earth, and we look at all the things that we've done and all the things that we shouldn't have done, and we always just try to help our kids not make the same mistakes, right? So that's the benefit of this training for the new folks, okay? Now, if you have an ailing business that needs some help, let's talk about what will fix that business, okay? And what I want to address first are two things that are not going to fix your business. They're myths. Myth number one is, you know what? I need to be on another team. I'm looking over there at that team. They seem to have it all together. I need to be on that team working with that leader. Can you switch me? Oh, can I just sign up and change my email and just switch myself, right? We got rules against that, by the way, right? But I'm here to tell you that changing teams is not the fix for your business. I can tell you right now that throughout my 2 decades of network marketing, including my Ibüümerang experience, everyone who has gone to another team, whether legally or illegally, hasn't done anything better than they did when they were where they were. I'm here to say it. Some of you guys are on here, right? There's nobody who ended up on a new team and that was the thing. They just needed to be replanted and they blew up and it was amazing. And you know what? So glad we changed them. No, they're on a new team doing the same thing they were doing on the old team, right? So that's not the solution. Here's another solution that some people think that they need. You know what? Maybe it's the company. Maybe it's just this opportunity. Maybe it's just this offering. Maybe it's just what they charge here. Maybe it's what it costs here. Maybe it's the product. Maybe I just need to be in a new company. I'm here to tell you, changing companies isn't going to fix your business either. Me and Jackie Pippins, we have a laugh every single week. You know why? What we do is we're petty sometimes. We take a look at everybody who's left Ibüümerang over the years, and we laugh because not one of them is at the same company that they left to go to. I'm not going to run the list here, but some of you know them. The ones that left and they went to this thing, and they're not there anymore. That company might not even be there anymore. In some cases, the company, in multiple instances, the company that they left to go to that they thought was a better opportunity where they would get better results. If I go to this company, that company is gone. In multiple cases, I can name at least 2 or 3 circumstances where people left to go to a company and the company no longer exists. They should have stayed here because we're still here. I can name several cases where people went to the new company. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram talking about this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'm so glad I left, blah, 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 wah. And now they're at another company because that company started doing them dirty. I can think of one case where the company did the people so bad that the people who used to be in Ibüümerang, who went to that company then screwed them over. They were so angry with that company that they posted their anger in English and Spanish. They want to make sure everybody knows this company did us bad. Should have stayed here. We never did them bad, right? Now we got a new wave of people going to a new company. And I'm here to tell you, I said it from day one before anything happened. I said, you know what the problem is with this person in particular going to another company? And the question that was asked to me was, what's the problem? I said, well, the problem is who they're taking with them. They're like, oh my God, are they taking a lot of people with them? I said, well, I don't know how many people are taking with them. They just announced that they're going. But they're taking one person with them in particular that's going to be a problem. And they said, who's that? I said, them. Because like Erica Williams just put in the Facebook chat, wherever you go, you take you. And I know the backstory behind what this individual's challenges are. And those challenges have nothing to do with Ibüümerang. Those challenges have nothing to do with Elevate. They have everything to do with that individual and their trading challenges and the money that they've lost for people, lots of money, et cetera, et cetera. And going to another company doesn't change that. Because like Carolyn just said in the chat, you can't leave you behind. So the only thing that is going to fix your business is fixing you. You got to fix you. Changing teams not going to fix you. Changing companies not going to fix you. Only thing that's going to fix you is fixing you. Like that lady in the mirror right there, she's got a blemish. She's got to deal with that. She's got to look in the mirror. She's got to deal with that. You got to look in the mirror and you got to deal with that. Because the common denominator, like Tanisha just said, is going to be you. Okay? So I want to make sure I want to say this because I want to galvanize some of you against this. And some of you need to talk to your teams and have this conversation. And some of you already regret that you didn't have your whole team on flight school so they could hear me say it to them. So now you got to make sure they watch the recording. Because they might chase the shiny new object and think, okay, that's the thing that's going to solve everything for me. It's not. And what happens a lot of times, by the way, I just want to also drop one other thing for you guys. You'll see a leader go to another company and talk about how much money they're making. Well, here's the reality. They're not making a lot of money because that company or that plan is better. They're making a lot of money because all they did is shift all of these people from here to there. And of course, you're going to make a lot of fast start bonuses when everybody signs up. But let's check in 90 days later. Are you still making that kind of money? No, never, not even one time. They're not. Now the reality sets in. You've got everybody in who's coming. And now you're back to where you were, dealing with reality. Are you creating a big residual? No. Are those people staying? No. Are those people doing anything? No. Because remember, when that person moves, they go and they do the same crap that they were doing over here that wasn't working. And now they take a bunch of people over there with them that weren't doing anything here, that are looking for the quick fix. So they come over there. And what do those people do? Nothing. Right? They do the same issues because here's the reality is they have to fix themselves. All right. Can I give you an example? Give you an example. Here's a real life example. I cut their faces off intentionally. but these are two friends of mine from 2 companies ago. The last company that I was a diamond in, right? And when I was in that company, these guys were just small people in that company, just trying to make it, struggling, never really making anything, right? They stayed. They stayed. This is a lesson for me, even. They stayed. They never left. They just kept working at it and working at it and working on themselves and working on themselves and working on their business and improving and improving and improving and learning and learning and learning and getting better and refining their skills and getting better. And this year, they started making $1 million a month. This year, they're buying Lamborghinis. This year, they're buying Rolls Royces. This year, their family is experiencing major, major blessings. And the reality is, they just stayed in the same company. They never, ever left. They said, you know what, we're going to ride it out. We're going to learn, we're going to grow, we're going to evolve. And they did that. So I'm here to tell you that changing companies is not the fix for your business. Changing your company is not the solution. Changing companies is just starting over. And by the way, when you become a very successful professional network marketer, the one thing that you will hate more than anything is starting over. It takes, because when you learn how to do it right, you will realize the amount of energy that it takes to start over is so insane that it's something that you just don't want to do unless you absolutely gotta. And I'm here to tell you that at Ibüümerang, you don't absolutely gotta. We love you guys. We support you. Ask any of our diamonds. I saw Jackie Pippins in the chat. Blue Diamond, Jackie Pippins. I see Diamond Trey Harris. Ask them. They will tell you. We are here to support you and to work through whatever. Okay? So now let's dig in to the cure. What will fix your business then? If changing companies won't fix your business, if changing teams won't fix your business, what will fix your business? And if you're new, what will put your business on the fast track? What will put your business on the track for big success, right? And by the way, I love what Erica just put in the chat. Erica Cheeks, she put in here on Facebook, we'll stay at a job for 20 years, a job that you hate, a job that underpays you, a job that limits you. But then you'll get in your business and you'll look for success in your first year. Not even your first year, Erica, your first week. Okay? We got Diamond Brandon Burrell in the chat also. I see you, brother. All right, so here's what we want to do today. We want to give you some chicken soup for your business soul, right? Hopefully that was warm and corny at the same time. All right, let's go. All right, symptom number one. Symptom number one. And partner, you can come in and jump in here with me at any time you want to, or whatever you want to do here. Okay. But symptom number one, okay, lack of persistence. So what does this mean? These are the people that as soon as they face a challenge, as soon as they hit a setback, as soon as somebody tells them no, or as soon as somebody tells them that they're crazy, they give up. Anybody know anybody like that? Don't put yourself out there. But anybody know anybody like that? Right?
So when Joe approached me, I said he was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I said, you don't know. Yeah, I was in Amway for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
This is a network marketing company. Don't quit. And then I did it.
Right. And then you joined, right? Because he didn't quit. He didn't give up. He didn't have this symptom. He didn't have lack of persistence.
He didn't have that symptom.
He didn't have this symptom. He was persistent. And you saying no was not gonna make him give up. So what is the cure if you're suffering or your business is suffering from this? Well, the cure is to commit, right? This image on screen is an image of commitment. It's two people saying, okay, it's you and me. for better, for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in good health, in life, until death do we part. You got to have that type of marriage level commitment to your business. You got to commit to the result that you said you wanted to get when you signed up. I want everybody on here, whether you're new or old, I want you to think about what you wanted to get out of this business. What made you sign up? What was it that you thought you could get out of this company? And at this moment, I want you to recommit to that. Write it in the chat. What is it you want out of this business? Put it in the chat right now. I joined this business because. That's how that sentence starts. I joined Ibüümerang because, and you fill in the blank. Come on. Do it. We're waiting for you. Daryl said he wants $1 million a month. Kirky said, I want better. I just want better for myself. Robin said, I want financial freedom. Right? And I want to challenge you guys. Quantify this stuff. I got so many times people will tell me, I want to make a lot of money. I say, hold on a second. I pull out my calculator like I'm doing right now. And I can't find a lot of money on here. They don't have a lot of money button. You have to be specific. How much money is a lot of money? For some people, a lot of money is $5,000 a month. Okay, great. For some people, it's $30,000 a month, like FX Rich put in there. Great. For some people, it's $1,500 a month. Great. Here's what I want you to do. Whatever it is, it's fine. It's great. But what I want you to do is what it says on the screen. Commit to that result and commit to the process that will get you there. Commit to that. And if you have a strong why, that's going to help you get through the rough spots, because there will be rough spots. There will be rough spots. This will not be easy. Kia, that's very specific. Student loans, early retirement, financial freedom. Only thing is financial freedom, you're going to need to quantify that, right? I see a lot of financial freedoms on here. What is financial freedom? There's levels to this. I already got my diamond saying, give me the slides. Yes, Diamond Vasil, the slides are coming your way. Because you know what? I admire him. I admire him. He makes a way. He's there in Bulgaria. They don't speak English. He gets these slides. He translates them into Bulgarian, and he does flight school on Sunday. Love it. But this is a message people need to hear, okay? So number one, commit, 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 right? Commit in the chat, everybody, real quick, so we can go to the next slide. Come on. Come on, can you please? Real quick. Commit, 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 commit. Excellent, excellent. Okay, great. All right, next slide coming up. Symptom number 2. Symptom number 2. You get sometimey results. You recruit some, you have a good week, and then we don't see you for a month.
I thought that was a mistake.
Nope.
Some tiny results.
It is a mistake for the people who are doing it, but not a mistake on this slide. Sometimey results. We know who those people are. They're the folks who have a big month. They recruit 5 people this month, and then you don't see them again for 5 months, right? They'll have a big week of exposure, make that list, and they'll make all those phone calls and get a bunch of people on the presentations. And then you're like, well, where are they at? Where'd they go? Right? So what we're talking about here is inconsistent effort. on again, off again, like me and my fitness regimen, right? I mean, I can relate to this. And I chose this picture as a self-indictment because one thing you got to do, folks, is you got to be able to diagnose and take an honest and clear look at yourself. Okay? So, I mean, how many of us do this? We lose weight, we gain some of it back, we gain all of it back. We lose it again, we gain it back, right? We get results, we lose results. We have a good week of eating, we have a month of bad eating, right? And so many people do that in their business. Ms. Diva's like crickets, right? Vita's like, let the toe stepping begin, right? But it's bad to do this in any aspect of your life, and it's also very bad to do this in your business. Okay? When you look at this guy in this picture, he did not get that way by having an inconsistent approach to his health and fitness. Those are not sometimey results. Those are the results of somebody who is dedicated to their results and their process. And I'm here to let you know that success in your Ibüümerang business requires your consistent effort and your focused effort over time. Is that Mark? Yes, that is Mark. You don't recognize him? He just changed his hair color. That's Mark. Yeah. Right? So it requires consistent effort. It requires focused effort. And it requires that over time. You cannot start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. Holton likes to say it this way. Full-time is good. Part-time is good. Sometimes is not good. You can't build your business sometimes. Full-time is okay, part-time is okay, but not sometimes, right? You got to be dedicated, you got to be focused, you got to be consistent, and you have to do the work. This guy did not get that way without touching a weight. He did not do that. He did not get that way without doing some push-ups. He did not get that way without doing some jumping jacks. All right?
Did not get that way without having a diet.
He did not get that way without sticking to a nutrition plan on a consistent basis. Okay? So, folks, that's what we got to do. We got to be consistent. Okay? All right. Got to be dedicated to your things. So that's something number 2. Ready for number 3? Everybody okay? Y'all still with me? Vita's putting those eyes like, oh my God, I don't know what's coming next. Right? Okay. Remind me, you ready? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Symptom number 3. Where did the time go? Oh my God. Is it Saturday again? Is it flight school again? Is it HP system coaching call again? Oh my God, I feel like it was just yesterday and I didn't do what I said I was going to do. Oh, I got somebody in the chat. They were like, yikes. Exactly. This symptom is called poor time management. This symptom is thinking, I'll do it tomorrow. And here's the challenge with tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Holton taught me the opposite. Holton taught Mark the opposite. He taught all of us the opposite, which is what? Early in the day, early in the week, early in the month. That's how you attack your goals. Early in the day, early in the week, early in the month. People who don't get that are going to find themselves chasing and behind and demoralized. Do you realize how this demoralizes you when you keep saying you're going to do something and then you don't do it? It's demoralizing. It absolutely is. It hurts you. It hurts your own soul. You're hurting yourself, right? So what you want to learn to do is you want to learn to have a plan for the day. You want to learn to have a plan for the week. You want to have a plan for the month. And start backwards. Start your plan for the month. Now break it down to weeks, then break it down to days. create your plan for the month, and you break it down to weeks, and you break it down to days. Okay? But learning to manage yourself and learning to manage your time is crucial to your success. Does that help? Okay. Let's go to number 4. Number 4. Y'all ready for number 4? Anybody need to rub their toes? Anybody rubbing their toes? Anybody need a back seat? Okay, here we go. Number 4. You don't make the calls. You find other things. Every time it comes time to make those calls, you find something else to do. Something else becomes urgent. Oh my God, I forgot to do the laundry. Oh, the dog needs a walk. You know what? I need to go clean something, clean the bathroom. Oh my God, I better start on dinner. Oh, you know what? I need to unpack my bag, my work bag, and repack it. We just find so many different things to do instead of actually hitting the phone and making those calls. You want to, as a matter of fact, you want to text people instead of making calls. Can I just text 100 people and see who replies? Why do you want to do that? I'm here to tell you it's because you're afraid of rejection. You're afraid of rejection. And so because you're afraid of rejection, you are looking for a ram in the bush every time it comes time to make those calls. You're looking for something to come save you from making those calls because you are afraid that someone is going to say no or even tell you that you're crazy. So what is the cure? What fixes this symptom? Getting to the place where you don't take it personal. Now, here's what's going to help you to not take it personal. Because they're not rejecting you. They're rejecting your business. They're saying, I don't want that. And remember, Diana and I were talking about the bourbon chicken lady in the mall that's giving the samples out on the toothpick. The reason that lady's not getting upset when you don't take that is because she realizes that everybody don't want chicken. Everybody doesn't want chicken. Some people don't even eat chicken. But when you walk by and you don't take her chicken, she's not taking it personal. You are not hurting her feelings. When they say, hey, who wants to go out there and hand out samples? She's not saying, no, I don't want to do it because those people are mean. Nobody's going to take my chicken. I'd rather go over here and make fries. No, everybody probably wants that job. Get stand out there and, right? So you got to accept that this might not be for everybody. And you need to learn to say next. I like what Diana just put in the chat. When you take it personally, that's not attractive. It gets ugly. It actually becomes a subconscious, cosmic repellent to people. Because what happens is when you make those calls, people start, they can hear that you need them. That's why I was so excited for Diana earlier. Because she doesn't realize it yet. But when she got to that place where she's like, you know what, my responsibility is just to make sure people see it. She now has stepped out or begun to step out from that place where you feel like I need you. When you can make those calls and you don't need any particular person to join your business, you won't be able to keep up with the number of people who will join your business. because people like that. People don't want to get left behind. They don't want to get chased. And they don't want to get left behind. Is this making sense to everybody? I'm telling you guys, these are the things. Now that you know what to do and you know how to do it, these are the things that make that difference that give you that edge. Okay? That give you that edge.
You know who's good at this?
Who's good at this?
Miss Diva.
Expand.
So I saw a text or a post in the chat in the Diamond in the HB system chat saying, let's see here. Thank you. I like that because that's what I truly feel he's doing. He doesn't know what to say. But she just goes from person to person to person and she puts it out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Because you know what she's doing? She's doing what everybody needs to do. And you got to put this in your notes. You guys ready? Who are we looking for? I promise you it's a trick question. Who are we looking for? When we're making these calls, who are we looking for? Yep. I see several answers in the chat, and one of them is right. Two of them are right now. Three of them are right. Now I got one on Facebook. Four of them are right. Five of them are right. We are looking for people who are looking. We're looking for people who are looking for something. We're looking for people who, like Ms. Diva said, are looking for us. And guess what? Everybody's not looking for us. So we got to show them who we are. We got to show them what we have. And the ones who are looking for us are going to be like, that's what I've been looking for. And they're going to sign up. You know how I know it? You signed up. You were looking for us. And we were looking for you. And we found each other. Right? So our job is to get the information out there, to do a good job of it, to make sure that people understand it, and then let them make their own decision. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay? So don't be afraid of making the calls, because if you don't make the calls, those people won't know. Okay? So we got to make those calls. Don't take it personal. Number five. Oh, man. This is a big one. Y'all ready? I kind of think I shifted too fast. That might have been an abrupt lane change. Everybody okay? Did anybody fall out of the car when we changed lanes just now? Did anybody fall out of the boat when we turned the boat? Y'all still in the boat? If you're still in the boat, stay. I'm still in the boat. Still in the boat. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I didn't lose nobody. Okay, still in the boat. Luis is laughing. All right, cool. All right. Symptom number 5. The reason that you might not be doing what you say you're going to do and what you feel like you want to do, but you just can't do it, is maybe it's just lack of belief. Maybe you just don't believe in Elevate. Maybe you don't believe in trading. Maybe you don't believe in travel discounts. Maybe you don't believe in Ibüümerang. Maybe you don't believe in network marketing. Maybe you got involved because you were afraid of being left behind. Maybe you signed up because of FOMO, fear of missing out, but you still don't have a level 10 belief. And that's holding you up. What do you do about that? Well, I'm here to assure you that you are in the right place. As far as network marketing companies go, you really can't do better than Ibüümerang. You can't do better than Holton Bugs. You can't do better than Anna, Mark, and T. Gray. You can't do better than Elevate. You can't do better than TradeBuddy. The network marketing streets are littered with the dead bodies and the zombies of people who have been looking for something better. Right, Jackie Pippins? That's our conversation every day. We laugh. We ain't perfect. We're not perfect. We've been through ups and downs. And as individuals, we're not perfect. Sometimes we say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing. But as far as companies go and teams go, you can't do better. As far as products go, you can't do better. Because everything we do comes from a place where we're committed to you. Everything that we do comes from Mr. Bugs having just a strong, rock solid commitment to you and your well-being. I'm laughing because Vita just put in the chat, we're not perfect, but we're better than them. And you're right, Vita. It's true. I'm not afraid to say it. We are, because of where we're coming from and our motivation and our desire and our belief and our care for the people. Right? So what is the cure if you're in a lack of belief state? Well, borrow somebody else's belief. You may not believe, but you know what? Blue Diamond Jackie Pippins believes it big. You may not believe, but Diamond Marianne, Diamond Vasil, they believe it big. You may not believe, but Diamond Kelly Haupu believes it big. You can get Kelly out of here. Believe me, we tried. No, I'm teasing. I can resist, Kelly. I love you. I'm just kidding. Just a joke. Just a joke. Right? And don't deny the facts. Don't deny the obvious. Sometimes people have disbelief, even though the evidence is overwhelming. Like, you can't say, I don't believe in trading. I don't believe that people can learn to trade. Because if you do that, I'm going to introduce you to Vita. She didn't always know how to trade. There was a time when Vita knew nothing about trading. There was a time where if you would have put the charts in front of Vita, she would have been like, okay, pretty green and red sticks. So she put on the chat, 0%. And when Vita learned to trade, we didn't have TradeBuddy. So you can't even say her results come from TradeBuddy. She took the classes. She watched the videos in Elevate. She plugged in. She joined the community. She plugged into the things that Donnie Pips was doing. She took advantage of everything that Elevate and Ibüümerang and the community that we put together had to offer. And because of that, she was able to ultimately turn $1,000 into hundreds of thousands of dollars. Don't deny the facts. That happened. And we got lots of stories like that. That's what Profit Snatchers is about. You want to build your belief? Get on Profit Snatchers every Wednesday. Every Profit Snatchers, first and third Wednesdays in Americas, second and fourth Thursdays in Europe. Watch the recordings. They're on Facebook, on the Elevate Facebook page. Watch enough of those and you're going to believe. But don't deny the facts. That makes you cynical. A person who sees facts and says, I don't believe that, is a cynic. And cynicism is going to kill you. Okay? And don't discount the results of others. Sometimes we like to discount their results. We like to find a reason why it's okay that they have results and you don't have results. Right? Oh, well, Jake is in England and people in England like network marketing better than people in America. Not true. Well, everybody in America has been exposed to so many of these different things and they're over it. Well, then why is Diamond Vasil Kranov constantly enrolling people from the United States and he's in Bulgaria? Why is he constantly meeting people on social media who look at Iboomerang and say, oh yeah, I want to be a part of that all the way across the world? Why is he doing that? Why is Jackie, people in Houston are over it? There's been so many different things. So why is Jackie coming here and Jackie and Jayla coming here in Houston and recruiting people? So don't discount the results of others. Don't look for easy excuses. Make sure that you put yourself in a position where you build your belief. Allow yourself to believe. Now, by the way, I just gave myself a thought. One of the reasons why people don't believe or they won't allow themselves to believe is because if they do allow themselves to believe, then now they have to deal with their lack of results. Or maybe now that means they're going to have to go and do the work. Because if I believe that Vita took those classes and learned to trade, then that means that I'm going to have to take them classes. And maybe I'm lazy and I don't want to watch all those videos. Well, then I have to deal with that. Deal with that. Be honest with yourself and deal with that. I am lazy. I don't want to watch videos. Don't say it doesn't work. Don't make an excuse for, well, she did it because that, and he did it because that, and Caleb did it because he's a kid and kids learn everything faster. No. Deal with yourself. Get back in that mirror like that lady in the beginning. Take a look at your blemish and deal with that. Okay? But you got to build your belief. That's number 5. Anybody have any toes left? Who still got toes? Who still got at least 1 or 2 toes? Who still got 1 or 2 toes? You got a couple of toes? Okay, cool. All right, cool. Good. All right. Rich said we're going to the next foot. Here's the problem. You got 10 toes. I got 15 points. Some of you guys are going to lose all your toes and a couple of fingers, but that's okay. Guess what? You're lizards. They grow back. All right, here we go. Symptom number 6. You are not getting any results. You're not getting any results. You're doing the work, you're trying, but you're not getting any results. Okay? Here's what that could be indicative of. And I meant to add something else to this. I just remembered. Number 1, you might not have enough training or support. Number 2, you might just be doing work, but you might be doing the wrong work. You might be going about it in a way that's not effective. And so you're working, but you're not getting results. Okay? So what is the cure? The cure is to plug in. But you got to be very mindful about who and what you plug into. So let me challenge you to plug in to the training and the support provided by the company, and plug into the training and support that's provided by your successful, plugged in upline leadership. 2 qualifiers there: successful and plugged in. Plug into your successful and plugged in upline leadership. If your leadership is disconnected from the company, that's a problem. That's something to question. It doesn't necessarily mean totally bad, but you want to make sure that you are plugging in to people who are getting real results, not just saying they're getting results. Okay. So, and of course, if you plug into the company, we're not going to steer you, because in this particular case, one of the anomalies and one of the special things about Iboomerang is that you have corporate leadership who are all builders and who are all successful builders. We're not people who failed in network marketing and said, oh, let's go start a company. Okay. So I want to challenge you guys to make sure that you're plugged in. So if you're doing a lot of work and you're not getting results, it could be that you're not getting enough training and support about the right way to do it. And you could be going about it the wrong way, and you just need to make a shift. Okay. All right, here we go. Symptom number 7. Your team's not getting results. You're getting results, but your team is not getting results. Okay. What is the fix for that? Well, you might not be following a system. You might be doing things that rely too much on talent and that will work for you because of who you are, because of your personality, because of your charisma, because of natural gifts that you may have, because of specialized training that you might have. But you might be going about it in a way that no one else can. You might be making gourmet hamburgers. Oh, they're so good. The way you make them, they got like that special taste to them, and they're just the right amount of thickness, and they got the right amount of doneness, and they're juicy, and then and their seasoning that you put on them, it's so good. And the way you toast the bread, and it just all goes together, and the things that you choose to put on it, it's but nobody else can make that burger but you. So is it a great burger? Yeah. How many of those burgers can you sell? Not that many, because the only person who can make them is you. How many burgers can you make? Right? So you're focused, you might be focused on what works for you, but you should be focused on what duplicates throughout your team. If you have not read the book, Good to Great, you should. Because Good to Great, Mr. Collins does a comparative study of companies in the same industry where some of the companies were good, but there was one or two companies that broke out and became truly great. And what he was looking for is, in those, what is it that the great companies had in common? And what the great companies had in common is system. They were system driven. They were not personality driven. They put systems in place where anybody could get the same results in that organization. And that's what you need to do in your company, in your Ibüümerang company. You need to be system driven. You need to focus on duplication. You may need to dial down some of the things that you can do with your talent and dial up doing the things that everybody can do. It's why we use slides in the presentation. Some of us are highly talented and can do the entire presentation and be effective and get people to sign up with no slides. I could do that. You give me a blank piece of paper, let me sit down with somebody, I get them signed up. I give them a whole presentation. They'll know exactly what Ibüümerang is and why they should do it and whatever. Now, but could they go and give that same presentation to somebody else? Absolutely not. But can anybody point and read at the same time and share the proper information? So the cure to your team not getting results is to follow and teach and embody a proven system. Now, there's more than one way to do it right. There's no one way to do it right. When we teach Mr. Bug's system, that's because that's the system that we learned that works for us and has worked for lots of people in the industry, not just people in his company, not just people in his downline. But there are lots of people in the industry who've been very successful, who built successful organizations doing it differently. So it's not, we're not saying Holton Bug's system is the only way to do it. But why reinvent the wheel? Okay? Systems are what allow you to create duplication, and duplication is more important than what works for you. Are you guys ready for number 8? Mark, do you have anything you want to say about this before I go to number 8?
No, sir.
Okay. Are you guys ready for number 8? You guys ready for number 8? Okay, let's go to number 8. Here we go. Uh-oh. Anybody, any Scooby-Doo fans out there? Anybody remember Scooby-Doo? Uh-oh, Raggy. Negativity. See, I'll tell you, you put that in the chat earlier, you're doing the right work with the wrong mindset. Negativity. You suffer from a negative mindset. How do you know you're suffering from a negative mindset? You see everything that's not perfect. All you see are limitations. All you see are what didn't work. All you see is what's not perfect. And by the way, as a company, we've had our share of limitations, setbacks, and things that weren't perfect. And some people were so negative on those things that even though those things have been fixed for years now, that's still what they see when they see Ibüümerang. They're stuck in a negative zone. What is the cure for negativity? What is the cure for being stuck in a negative place? You got to grow. You got to grow. You got to learn how to get control of this. This has got to get bigger. You got to spend some time in personal development. It's time to constantly feed and improve a positive mindset. You got two wolves inside you. Which one's going to be bigger? The one you feed the most. So you're going to have to put yourself on a steady diet of positive. I can tell you right now, when it comes to trading, I trade early in the morning, first thing in the morning. What I do to program my mind on trading is the first thing I do is when I get out of the bed, I grab my headphones, I put them in, and I play the same YouTube trading affirmations video every single day. So I can feed my positive mindset. I can feed my habits, feed the right things. Every day, I put on those headphones and I watch motivation videos. I actually listen to them. I don't watch them. I listen to them. I've constantly got all the greats, Anthony Robbins, E.T., the hip hop preacher, all these guys in my head. David Goggins, get hard, right? I mean, yeah, all these folks just talking to me saying, hey, get out of your own way. You can do it. You're great. You're fantastic. It's going to be hard, but you can do it. Why? Because you got to feed it. You got to feed it. You got to put it in. Feeding requires putting in. Now, if you don't feed positivity, then you're going to feed negativity. And you're going to, sometimes you feed yourself negativity inadvertently. Because this world is a very negative place. How many of you heard that Venus and Serena Williams are now the first Black female co-owners of a football team? Very few. Why? Because that's good news. Nobody wants to hear good news. Good news doesn't get circulated. How many of you have heard that P. Diddy is being investigated for all sorts of terrible things and acts? Now everybody's heard that. How many have heard that Drake and Kendrick Lamar have a rap beef, a rap battle going on? How many of you have heard about what's going on in different countries in the world that are at war? How many of you heard that Donald Trump is on trial? Right? Why? Because negativity is what people want to hear, and that's anything you hear on the news is going to be 10 times negative to maybe one positive. Your Instagram feed is going to give you negative, 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 negative. Because that's what people want to hear. People want to hear about Cardi B throwing a mic at a fan at a concert. That's what people want to hear. And so you don't even have to work to eat negativity. It's looking for you. It's all going to be all around you. But you have to work to feed yourself positive stuff. You have to be intentional. You might be negative and don't even know it because you haven't been feeding yourself positive. Now, here's the thing. People are attracted to positivity. Nobody wants to work with a grumpy, negative, non-believing person. And you don't have to walk around with a t-shirt that says, I'm grumpy, I'm negative, I'm non-believing. You don't have to, it's like certain cultures where they eat lots of curry. It just comes through your pores. You can smell it. It's like dogs can smell fear. And people will sense it on you and they realize, I don't want to be in business with you. They might like Ibüümerang, but they might not like you because you're negative. So you want to make sure that you are investing time. What did I say? Investing what? Time in improving your mindset, skills, and self-confidence. You don't even have to invest a lot of money in this day and era. Everything that I said that I'm doing on a daily basis, that doesn't cost $1. Well, it costs a little bit because I have the YouTube membership that takes away the commercials. And it was at $20 a month, maybe. But it does take time. That trading affirmations video that I listen to every day is 15 minutes. Some of these other videos that I'll have them playing, they'll take 5 minutes or 50 minutes. It doesn't matter. It just requires time. But you invest in that so that you can become a positive person. Number 9, you're sitting on the park bench by yourself because you have no prospects. You ain't got nobody to call. Make a list of 100. I can't even make a list of 1. Well, first of all, that's bullshit. I had to say that because there's no way I can get through all 15 of these and not use at least 1 cuss word. All right. But that's BS. But you feel like you don't have anybody that you can talk to about your business. You feel like you don't have any friends left. You're in the NFL, not the National Football League, the no friends left league, right? What is the fix to that? Well, first of all, the first fix is don't buy into your own BS, right? You know people, you're just afraid to talk to them. And you may have talked to them already and you talked to them the wrong way, but you can go back and redo it. Trust me, right? But the real fix is to constantly be generating new leads. And if you're listening to all that positive stuff, it's so easy to meet new people, build new relationships, make more friends like Diana just put in the chat, find new friends like Ron just said in Facebook. It's so easy when you're positive because people are attracted to positive. People just going to know you're going to walk around so happy, being such a light in this world that people are going to want to know what's wrong with you. Why are you so happy and positive? Don't you know what Diddy did? Right? What do you do? Who are you? Some of you are so positive that people have done that. And you know who some of those, Jackie and Jayla, they're so radiant. I just wonder how they do it. They walk into a club, it's dark, music is loud, people are drinking, everybody want to know them. Why do people want to know them? Because they're so positive. It makes you just want to know, who are these people? They will come to your city and do that. They're not even from there. It's crazy. So you want to learn how to network. They've obviously put some energy into learning how to communicate with people, learning what's the right thing to say, what's the right time to say it, how to connect with people, what not to say, learn that, put some time in that. Go on YouTube, how to network, how to make friends. Read a book, how to make friends, influence people. But there's no reason that an adult human being should be out of prospects. Not when there are billions of people on this planet, right? I love it when people in Houston used to tell me they didn't have anybody. I'm out of prospects. I'm like, there's 6 million people in this city. Come on, for real? There's 6 million people here.
Just go downtown.
Just go downtown, go meet somebody. Go to the freaking Galleria, right? So in any event, that's it. We're going to go to number 10. We're going to go to number 10. Okay. Number 10. You ready? This doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? I didn't get rich yet. You didn't get rich in your first month and you think it doesn't work. Could you imagine if Vita said, this doesn't work. I'm 2 months into this trading, this training, Elevate training. and I'm not getting rich yet trading. Could you imagine? We wouldn't have this story. Could you imagine if it took her 7 months of learning. Then she started $1,000 account that started working. But if you talk to Vita, she's going to tell you that she started a few $1,000 accounts that she blew. Imagine she would have had this mentality. Oh, it just don't work. I give up. I'm done. It didn't work right away, so I'm done. Listen, so many people come to the table with unrealistic expectations. Now, that's a typo. That says unrealistic exceptions. It's unrealistic expectations. And they're delusional about what's supposed to happen. Their goals that they set are too aggressive. And by the way, some of you leaders contribute to that. Can a person achieve Sapphire in the first month? Yes. Will most people achieve Sapphire in the first month? No. Should we be making that as a goal for people? Probably not. If that new person they shouldn't even know what Sapphire is when you first start working with them. But if somehow they find out and they come to you and say, I want to go Sapphire my first month, your job is to help them balance that. That doesn't mean that you pee on their dreams, but it means that you gauge who you're dealing with and what their circumstances are, and you help adjust their goals so that their goals are realistic and achievable. Because every time you set a goal that's too aggressive and you don't hit it, you damage your psyche. Some of you guys have taken a lot of shots to the psyche, and you did it to yourself. Just watch this one. If I was coaching you and you came to me with an aggressive goal and I backed your goal down, just put it in the chat. Just put an 8 in the chat. If you've come to me and you're like, I want to do this, and I backed you down off your goal and to a lesser goal or stair step goal, put an 8 in the chat. You can I'm telling you, I do it all the time. I say things like, diamond is great, and we're gonna do diamond. But when we look at your business last month, from there to diamond is monumental. So how about we get there in stages? We're going to set some milestone goals that will help us work toward it. We're going to do this first, right? I've done things like, okay, well, we're not going to go ruby this month. We're going to do sapphire and a half. Because sapphire is 15,000 and ruby is 40,000, and that's a big gap. So how about we did 15,000 last month. How about we do 25,000 this month? Or how about we do 20,000 this month, and 25,000 next month, and 30,000 next month, and 35,000 next month, and then 40,000. It's okay to go sapphire in 4 or 5 months. If you can, go ruby in 4 or 5 months. Now, if you can do it, we're going to do it. But it's important that you keep it real for yourself and for your new people, so we don't have people who are delusioned and who are damaged because we don't set proper goals. My son is 6'1" and he's an amazing dancer, but you know what? I remember when he was this big. This didn't happen. It took 24 years for him to get that way. So let's not encourage people with ridiculous goals. Diamond Alte, he says it. Too many people call out goals to sound cute, trying to impress the people who are going to hear those goals. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? All right. Number 11. Now we see those people. Some of you guys are just here. right, Mark? We just see them. They're just kind of, what are they doing? Well, we're always happy that you're still here. We're always happy that you're still with us and that you come to all the events and whatever. But you're just kind of meandering. How you like that for a vocabulary word? Meandering. How do you spell it? M-E-andering. Right? But if you don't have clear goals and you don't have a clear plan, you will find that time just goes by and there's not a whole lot of results. Oh, I'm got some self-indictments happening, right? Here's the cure. The cure is plan. Here is a plan. You have a monthly plan every single month. I worked with a bunch of diamonds this month, last week, sorry, to put together plans. So many of you in this chat, I know your names because you're on their plan. Lewis, did they get together with you to give you your plan? Did you agree to the plan? Did you sign on to the plan? Is the plan all over your house, Lewis Barnes? Do you have your plan? Is your plan on your bathroom mirror? Is your plan on your TV? Is your plan on your refrigerator? Because that's what we agreed that they were going to come tell you. They were going to go over the plan with you, see if you buy into the plan. If you agreed with the plan, we're going after that plan. That's our May plan, right? So Lewis, that's your next step. Take that plan, put it everywhere. Make your environment where you cannot escape your plan. Who's got their plan everywhere? Who's got their May plan everywhere? Blue Diamond Jake, we put a video out there where he went and he talked to one of the ladies that was on his plan. Now I told him, tell them bathroom mirror and sticky notes everywhere. Sticky note on the TV, sticky note on the fridge, sticky note on the dashboard of their car. If they can figure out how to put the sticky note on the ceiling, I want them to do that so that they can see the goal first thing in the morning and last thing at night. This lady took a marker, wrote her goals on the mirror, wrote her goals on the microwave with the marker. Why? Because she uses the microwave every single day. That's what I'm talking about. If you become goal-oriented, you will not be wandering aimlessly. Every month, every day, every week, you will be marching toward a goal. Team Cheek, I see you guys. I saw your plan. You guys, there's a clear plan for you guys. Are we executing that plan? Are you surrounded by that plan? Erica says the May plan is in effect, right? The plan will give you direction. It will give you something to measure your progress by. All right, here we go, number 12. This is a toe crusher. You ready? Some of you, that skeleton is going to be you with an Ibüümerang t-shirt. Why? Because you're still waiting for Jackie to come do that presentation for you. You're still waiting for Darren to come and talk to these people for you. You're still waiting for Desi to come and do that follow-up for you. You're still waiting for Kelly to come to your house and do that presentation. Waiting. Why didn't you do more? Well, Alte was busy. Vasil had a full schedule. I'm waiting. If you over-rely on your upline, or if you're waiting for everybody else to do it for you, you will never get the results that you need or that you want. What is the cure? Learn to do it yourself. The minute you start doing it yourself is when you now officially own your own business. Somebody says in the chat, Tigray, your presentation is so smooth. Well, no problem. Incorporate my presentation into doing it yourself. Learn to get some people together at your house and put my presentation up on your flat screen TV and make people watch it with you. That's doing it yourself and showing them at the same time that they can do it too. But when you start to do things like that, and thank you for that compliment, Trish, but when you learn to do things like that, now you own the gas pedal in your business. That's when we give you a gas pedal, because you can now control the speed of your growth. You are no longer growing at the speed of your upline's availability. You are growing at your own speed. I like that, Diva. She put in the Facebook, the person with the clicker gets paid quicker. I love it. I'm going to give you credit today and today only, because as of tonight, this afternoon, that belongs to me. I made it up this afternoon. This morning, I got it from Diva. This afternoon, it's a T. Grayism. The person with the clicker, right, advancing the slides, gets paid quicker. I freaking love it. All right, awesome. All right, number 13. We're getting overtime here, so let's wrap this up. All right, number 13. No money for events and other key business activities. Okay? When you consistently don't have money for the event or other key activities, it is a symbol of one or both of two things. One of either of these two, one of these things, or maybe both of them. Poor financial management, or you simply are not making enough money in your business. Now, what is the cure for this one? The cure is profitability and reinvesting. Look, you gotta have to have a talk with yourself and ask yourself, am I in business to make money? Because if you're in business to make money, then you got to relentlessly focus on income producing activities. You got to prioritize the things that are going to make you money. It's got to become important to you. It's got to be something that you're like, you know what, I'm going to make money in this business. I'm going to have this, I got to make this happen. What makes money? Somebody asked me the other day, they said, we were having a conversation. I said, I asked that person, I said, what's the magic number? So what do you mean, what magic number? The magic number that keeps people in business. They said, I don't know. What is the magic number? Do any of you guys know what the magic number is? Do anybody here know what is the magic number that if people are making this number, they'll almost never quit? Boom! Right out of the gates. You can always tell who I'm rolling with. V does. Put it in the chat. $500 a month. Magic number. And then I was asked, well, how do you make $500 a month in Ibüümerang? 10 Trade Buddy customers. That's simple. There's other ways. You can do it through recruiting. You can do it through make it residually, right? Lots of people in the company make at least $500 a month on the 20th of the month, because of the size team that they've built and the number of subscriptions represented in their team. They make $500, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 a month. But anybody can just say, hey, you know what? Let me just put myself in a position where I'm always profitable. Go get 10 Trade Buddy customers. If you focus on that and make it your business, you'll have it. You'll do it. So many people you know why people got 25 customers? Because they focused on it. Whatever you focus on expands. So focus on making money. Now, when you make $500, in your business, what needs to happen with that $500? Now, mind you, you still have your job or whatever else you've got that's making you money. So now you turn you got your Ibüümerang business to the place where it's throwing out $500 a month. What should happen with that $500? Diana says reinvest in the business. Can you be a little bit more specific? What should come out of that $500? What should come out of that $500? First and foremost, let's go basic. First and foremost, what comes out of that $500? Boom. Vita again. Subscription. Your Trade Buddy monthly subscription, $300 a month. Boom, Marianne, Diamond Marianne, reinvest. $500 came in. Your subscription is $300. So now let your business pay for your subscription. Now you are no longer paying your subscription from the money that comes from your job and the money that's in your household. Your business is paying its own rent. Let me ask you a question. If you opened up a grocery store and the rent for your grocery store was $3,000 a month and your business made $5,000, what is the first thing you do with the $5,000? How many of you would pay the freaking rent? You pay the rent. Your business made enough money to pay the rent. Now you got $2,000 left over. So you take the $2,000 now and you go and buy Gucci bag? No, grocery store needs what? I give you a clue. Groceries, right? So you got to, now you got to take that, you got to buy some inventory. So if you have $500 a month coming into your business, $300 pays your subscription, you got $200 left over, $50 pays for your rank up. And maybe you take that $150 and you put it to the side. So that the next time we do an event, you've already got your event ticket paid for. Now, by the way, once you get to $500 a month, what should you be trying to do next? What should you focus? What should you be focused on next? You're at $500 a month. What do you focus on next? Boom, Tracy Pullen, 500 more. Now you're at $1,000 a month. You're reinvesting 500, 600 in your business. And now maybe you're putting $400 towards other things in life. But you see, you got to have, if you don't have the money consistently for events and other key activities, maybe it's because you haven't been focused on being profitable. So now that's where we're trying to shift your focus to. Make some money. Come on, make this money. I want to pay you more. When I push that button on Mondays, when I push that button on the 20th, I want to see you making more money. You. Yeah, you. I want to see, we want to see you making, Mark, don't you want to see you making more money? Mark, don't you want to see these people make more money?
Yes, sir.
I see you make more money. Holton wants you to make more money. All right.
That's a good question.
There you go. All right. So let's get, so who's going to, is this helping you? Is this helping anybody? Is this helping anybody? This is the Ibüümerang equivalent of you were just born and where the doctor was slapping you on the butt to make you cry. Anybody crying? All right. Two more. You already know this is winding down. Okay. I switched the slide and immediately I got an ouch. Here we go. Number 14. You feel like you're doing so much. You feel like you're doing so much. And you feel like you're doing more than you really are. That's me in the gym. Right? I'd be like, whoo, man. But then I started working out with that trainer last year. Mark will tell you, I came to the office complaining. I came to the office crawling, barely making it in there. He knows my trainer. There's no way. There's no way I'll ever work myself out as hard as he does. I'll be in the gym by myself. I feel like I'm doing so much, but I ain't really doing nothing. Some of you guys, that's how your business is. You feel like you're doing so much, but you ain't doing nothing. Now, what is that for coming from? A lack of accountability, a lack of measurement. What is the cure? Measurement and accountability, right? So measure and quantify your activity. I was talking to somebody I was talking to Blue Diamond Jackie Pippins, and I was telling her about how I launched my business a couple of companies ago. And at that point in time, I had another mentor, and she was really tough. And I really appreciated her for being so tough. Um, and I remember when I first started, I was making my calls and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And we were going over my results. And she's like, I feel like something's off here. I'm like, well, I'm killing it. I'm making the calls. I'm doing it. She goes, no, no, no. She goes, here's what I want you to do tomorrow. I want you to take a calendar or make a piece of paper and put every 15 minutes on it. It's a makeshift calendar. And I want you to write down what you're doing every 15 minutes. And then I want you to send it to me at the end of the day. So I did. I was honest. I was religious about it. 8 to 8:15, 8:15, 8:30, 8:30 to 8:45. I put what I put. And I sent it to her at the end of the day. And after a couple of hours, she called me back and she said, I found it. So what did you find? She goes, I found the 2 hours a day that you've been wasting. Did y'all get that? My accountability coach found the 2 hours a day that I was wasting during my launch. Now, by the way, we tweaked that. She found it right away, Nadia. And because we tweaked that, I personally enrolled 33 people that month. That was my first month. That was my launch month. I became one of the fastest diamonds, the fastest to achieve diamond in that particular company. Measure your activity, quantify your activity. How many calls did you make? A lot. Well, how many is a lot? I'm gonna put my calculator again. Let me see. Hold on a second. I'll pull my calculator up. Nope, I can't find a lot on here. There's no a lot key. There's just numbers, right? Quantify. How many calls did you make? How many people did you actually speak to? How many of those people said, I'm going to look at this? How many of those people did you follow up with and do you need to follow up with? Develop a plan, publish your plan for the day, for the week, for the month, and review it at the end. Did you do it? I'm going to tell you right now, we really kind of just started making sure everybody has a plan. May is month one for people having plans. For you diamonds that I've been leaders that I've been working with on these plans, I have a measured expectation of what's going to happen for May. But I have a big expectation for what's going to happen in September. Because by then we will have this goal-driven, I got a plan that I'm working on, culture down tight. And by September, there won't be a person in the company that doesn't have a plan for the month, that's not working toward a plan for the month, that's not accountable to somebody for that plan. And watch what happens. Watch how many people we fill the stage with. Watch what happens to people's incomes. But you gotta get to the point where you're not going on feel. You gotta get to the point where we can see, we got numbers. What did you do? And you're talking to somebody about it. You're not doing it in secret. And the reason why you want to do it in secret is because when you're just accountable to you, you can lie to you. You will let you off the hook. When you have an accountability partner, they're going to be like, nah, you said you wanted to do such and such. You're not going to get there by doing this little bit. You got to work. All right. All right. Last one. I said it. 4-letter word. Work. You're simply not doing the work. You're hoping for results. You're still waiting for people to come and knock on your door and say, I want to be in your business. I want to be in your team. I want to be doing whatever it is you're doing. You're sitting on your front step waiting for the people to come to you. That's what's happening. You're waiting for them. And it's not going to happen. They are not going to come to you. You got to pick up the phone. You got to call them. You got to do the work. You have got to do it. There's only one. Holden Buck says it all the time. Hope is a terrible business strategy. There's only one cure for not doing the work, and that is to do the work. Learn to do the right work. Learn to do it the right way. Learn to do it in the right amount. Be honest with yourself. Stop lying to yourself. Because there's no substitute for doing the work. There's no substitute for that. You gotta just do the work. You have to. You got to do the work. That's it. You got to do the work. We were talking about this. We come from a culture where everybody would do the work. Everybody would do the work. We do the work, do the work, do the work. And people were doing the work and they were making the money. They would do the work and they were getting the results. My trade just hit my TP. Degenerate. Trading degenerate. You got it. You got to do the work, folks. There's no, you got to be in it to win it. And some of you guys are simply not doing the work. We did an exercise in the HB System Coaching Group, had everybody put in what they did that week. And the number of zeros, ones, and twos was staggering. And you got to ask yourself, if I worked my job this way, would I still have a job, or would they fire me? Right? So folks, you got to do the work. Yeah, FX Rich. Yeah, I was in that trade. I got stopped out deep in profit because I knew I wasn't going to really be able to watch it. All right. So at the end of the day, that wraps up this training, everybody. Follow these tips. Follow these tips. You want a healthy, successful, and profitable business? Follow these tips. Some of you guys are going to need to go find this, bookmark this training. Some of you guys need to watch this training once a month. But this is how you will become successful. These things. Like we said, there's not a whole lot of how-tos to teach you anymore. Now it's time to DTW. Do the work. Any closing shots on that, Mark?
No, sir. Yep.
All right, folks.